What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Today is September 15, 2019. My name is Josh Moxey. I'm an aspiring entrepreneur documenting my journey, and on a weekly basis I get on camera after I'm done reflecting on my week, and I share the highlights of what I learned, how I grew, my trial and errors, etc. And I hope to bring you some value in the process as well as document my journey. And I've got some English muffins and jam and toast, or not jam and toast, jam and butter, which is amazing. I've also got a smoothie. I'm just gonna try eating during and see how that goes. Just in an endless attempt to try to take this series off a pedestal, if you will. Anyways, hope today's episode's really good. It's jam-packed. I'm super behind as I say this, by the way. I'm literally about to post 54 and today, and I'm just fucking behind as hell. Oh, fuck. Anyways, let's get into today's episode. What's been on my mind? Expanding my content beyond documenting. Like, I love documenting, but I'm so intrigued by the idea of doing like Notion content, like how-to content, disregarding niches at the start and just like going all over the place because, well, what I've done so far has not worked as well as I would have liked it to. And yeah, I'm just very down to experiment right now and go a little bit crazy and say fuck you to niches. Notion design, like just all over. I love Notion so much. Fuck. Also very top of mind is Starbucks. I start tomorrow, actually. I start training tomorrow. Also thinking a lot about how much of a focal point I am in public. It's actually crazy how many eyeballs I command when I'm in public. Like, there's something about my body language, like my non-verbals, as well as my energy and my field, that just like, I just become a focal point for so much. It's very intriguing. What were my favorite wins? Ton of Notion wins, like just a shit ton. I moved to a global task list within Notion, which has been fucking incredible. I'm very glad I made the move to that because I was having way too many different areas with a bunch of to-dos inside of them. So what I did instead is I moved all of my tasks, all of the to-dos into a global task list. And I have a 3 global task lists right now. One for Moxey Energetics, one for content, and one for like everything else. Because inside those, I just imagine if there's shared, I don't want them to see like my personal tasks. So it's just like based on a global team basis, if you will, if that makes sense. So anyways, that's worked in fucking incredibly well, and I'm glad I moved to that. As well as setting up views so everything is filtered correctly. I've also just been reworking a ton of my dashboards and all types of like systems within Notion. It's a little bit crazy. Like, I've just been defining a shit ton of systems. I set up Inbox, so now it's like working with Web Clipper, and I also like added ideas in there and all that jazz. And it's just like almost replacing mind dumps, if you will, and making it really my life a lot easier. Instead of keeping all my tabs on Safari, for example, all cluttered, I just save it all to Notion. What else can I say? Yeah, just a lot of stuff within Notion right now, and I'm fucking excited. I also went to a public gym before Wooly this week, so that was good. I hung out with Jerome and EJ at the gym, and it was like, yeah, it was just awesome. And I'm feeling much more excited for the gym life, and it's also been super top of mind, just like thinking about how I'm about to join a gym. I'm fucking excited. I'm very done with being in the basement to work out. I also did fear setting on hanging out with girls one-on-one because it petrifies me. Like, I'm just so fucking scared of it. Anyways, that went really well. Something magical happened there, I swear. Like, it was just like, since I've done that, things have really changed. I don't know exactly what changed, but like, I did fear setting on that, and then I also did some energetic work on it after, and it was just like, something clicked that night. I just don't know. Anyways, it's pretty fucking awesome. What worked? Moving all of my incomplete system to their own system that is like a meta system of systems, if you will. And it just keeps my because my dashboard was getting quickly out of hand. And doing this allows me to keep all of the incomplete page. And I also keep complete pages in there as well with like a status type of thing. So it's like almost like a to-do doing done, except it's more advanced than that. And it just allows me to keep my personal dashboard much more clean, much less cluttered, because it was just getting out of control. Categorizing the global task list by project. So like I have another database with projects and I have a relational property that's hooking into it. So now I can sort my views, if you will, by project. I can also just like sort or filter. Like there's just a bunch of different things I can do because it's going at this this separate thing in another database with the project type. And also being okay if it doesn't have a project type, because it's not the end of the fucking world. Other is my friend, and I have to remember that. Not everything's going to be perfectly sorted. Using Web Clipper to just basically put any link at all ever into Notion. I love tracking in things like the library, excuse me, and resources and all that jazz, and it's just helpful to keep stuff like that in a list, if you will. And anyways, just keeping that though, it is literally as simple as pressing that share button on iOS, and or if you're on a laptop, you can just press the Web Clipper icon, and just doing that, it'll automatically grab the page title, and then it's just sitting in my inbox, which is like the place where I save all my stuff and put new ideas, and also just adding new ideas and random thoughts into it instead of doing a straight up mind dump has just worked so much fucking better. Because I don't want to have to just do a mind dump with the fucking title and then have to have a fucking full page. Sometimes I just want to put in one thing and I don't exactly know where to put it. Doing that is so much more helpful. Muscle testing rather than trying to overthink things and trying to rationalize what's the right one. Sometimes I can, not even sometimes, many times throughout this Notion journey and even back to the ClickUp journey, it was just me trying to just sit there and try to come up with the best idea. And then I have too many good ideas and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to actually fucking do. So just taking the time to muscle test what is more ideal of maybe it's a 1, 2, 3 question. Here's option 1, here's option 2, here's option 3. Doing something like that, super, super useful, because I can try to sit there and rationalize it, but I don't actually know at the end of the day. Well, who knows is source. So following that's really helpful. Combining points. Okay, so I've talked about this in weeks past, but I have become such a fucking ninja at combining all these points, and I almost do this matrix thing now because I've been doing it for so fucking long. These reflections, I'm now able to see things from a broader perspective and just combine points here, there, and then take points out at other places and just put them in the right area so I can structure. Because as I'm recording this, I am basically editing this in my mind and structuring it for good and for worse. There's definitely benefits and negatives that come from that, but anyways, combining points and making things even more simple is just really fucking crucial. You should see how many things I wrote down compared to what I just said in those past in the past 3 sections. So it's fucking cool. When categorizing tasks, keeping things general in nature, I can get too fucking specific with my sorting sometimes, and specific sorting or specific labeling, if you will, can just be in my detriment sometimes. So just being detached, being okay if it's not the most specific in nature, because it just makes it easier on myself if I keep things general when I'm categorizing. Revisiting old systems that I've designed in Notion and updating them with my newfound knowledge. They were good at the time, I want to make them fucking great, and I have new ways of approaching things, and I'm glad that I can do this now, because I just keep getting better and better at Notion, so grateful for that. Asking a friend for a loan for Woolly Day. I'm just so low on money right now that I actually had to ask for a loan, and the person I asked was super gracious. Shout out Jerome for helping me out there. Yeah, people do want to help, and obviously I'm paying it back, so it's not the end of the world, but anyways, he was super gracious about that, and I'm grateful that he did that, because basically couldn't have went without that. Working out with other people on the same equipment. It was actually really fucking cool working out with Jerome and EJ, because we're all we what did we do? We did Specifically, it was cool. We went on, can't speak. What is it? Bench press? There we go. How the fuck did I forget that? Anyways, we were all rotating around on bench press, the three of us. And we were all pumped up. We were pumping each other up. We were recording each other and also laughing. And it was just a really fun time. And also spotting as well. So it was just cool to know that how well the partners of the gym works. I love that. What didn't work and how can I improve it? Leaving my abs so late in the week, meaning like when I'm working on my abs, I just leave the workout way too late. Putting it Tuesday and potentially first thing would just be a lot better. I end up like wanting to rationalize, like, I don't want to do it today. I'm just going to focus on work, which I do, but like, it would just be better to leave it early in the week because it's Sunday, still haven't fucking done it. So I have to do it later in the day. And it's just like, yeah, I also cannot stand doing abs when my stomach is full. So fuck that. Do it Tuesday and do it like first thing. Not enough protein sources. So we are lower right now on cash, which means we have to take some cuts, if you will. And chicken has been one of those. I miss chicken. You're beautiful. And this also, because we're a lot lower on like the pure protein sources, or whatever the fuck they're called, that also means I'm too high in fats right now. I end up just like eating foods that are trying to get protein but end up having a lot of fat. So like a great example is tuna, because tuna has the mayonnaise. Is it called? Is it mayonnaise? Yeah. Anyways, Hellman's is what I use specifically, and that has a shit ton of fat in it. So it's like it's very high in protein, but it's very high in fats as well. And I want 25%, so lowering that would be beneficial. But as soon as I have the cash, I'm super fucking down to buy like chicken, turkey, beef jerky, and like things that are very high in protein and lower in fats. And like another thing that I eat a lot of is eggs, and eggs have a lot of high fats as well. Like, and also just eating more carbs that are lower in fat, like rice and quinoa, would be helpful to lower my fat count as well. Inputting habits and reminders into the global task list, or even just like any task list, it ends up getting too clogged. It stays there for too long. It doesn't work, and it's like fast paced to doing done type of thing, because it's like I'm trying to build a habit, or it's on ongoing reminder type of thing. So that's not useful. And I really need to take the time to build out the habits place and the reminders place. They're partially built right now, but I want to take the time to fully define and implement them. So having multiple to-do lists in Notion across all areas of my life and they just weren't getting done. So that didn't work. What obviously has worked and what I've continued to do and work on is doing this global task list. I think from like Thursday or something on, it was just like, this is 100% where I need to be doing things in terms of like task lists. So anyways, it's so the right move. So just continue defining that, continue working with that, and get better at it. Seeking external approval from DJs at shows and hoping they like notice me or see me or whatever, and then also judging myself at the same time for doing so. And also actually catching myself just like judging just too much in general, myself, sometimes others, but a lot of it is just myself at shows. I have some energetic work to do on this. I also have to dig deeper on that root cause, and I also have to give myself the acceptance and approval that I crave externally from DJs for whatever reason, and just take them more off a pedestal. They're humans that make music. It's awesome. I love it. And at the same time, they're not fucking special. They're just people. So if I say so again, I swear to fucking God. Oh, and just to give you more context of what I mean by that, like seeking approval, if you will, it's something as simple as, I remember when Wooly came on, I wanted him to know that I knew all the fucking unreleased songs, and like gunning and like doing the hand movements and all that shit to the exact notes and like yelling the drops and stuff like that. Yes, it's like fun, and at the same time, sometimes it absolutely is me seeking approval, and like I kind of just want the artist to know that like, hey, I know your shit type of thing. So anyways, it's just silly, and dude, I get too fucking fanboyish sometimes with that specific type of stuff, just because I want to flex how fucking much I know on people. going to bed at 6 a.m. after a show and then waking up at like 1 p.m. This is a struggle because I live so fucking far away. I got like one and some change hours. So like, let's say 1:15 to get home. And then once I get home, I have to do my nightly ritual. I have to post the fucking stories so the DJs can see it and tag them properly. And yeah, just shit like that. What else? And like, so let me just go into the actionables really quick. I just, first of all, I just fucking hate waking up so late. I love getting a good sleep, so I have to probably drink less caffeine would be nice. Make sure my power list is done because I actually had to do an extra thing when I got home the other night. Don't hang at the venue for a long time after, just get the fuck out of there. And then go to earlier shows if possible. Those are fair points. But anyways, I'm just so fucking sick of waking up so damn late. I don't really know exactly if those are good actionables or not, but it's a start. Not capitalizing on enough opportunities with girls. There was like a fair amount of opportunities. At Wooly, over texting, and I've just been so fucking in a state of inaction. And the actionable is I just have to do. And just face those fucking fears. Like, it's not gonna happen, me being comfortable, if it's something beyond my comfort zone. So, yeah, capitalize on that bullshit. And think about what happens if I do and what happens if I don't. And obviously I did some fear setting as well. Did I talk about that? Yeah, I did. I did some fear setting on that, and that really helped. But there's still some more things to do, which is probably just do it. Fuck. I also low-key have this energy of like, that pulls girls in, and then when they get too close, I like push them away at the last second, if that makes sense. Because I'm still so fucking scared of a lot of things. And that's a struggle. And it's getting better as time goes on, thankfully. I just have to become comfortable with the fact that like, with getting close to girls, like it's just, that's a struggle for me. Yeah, overall, I really just have to do some energetic work on that. I also have to just make some moves, if you will, and get comfortable within that type of space, if you will. Because like once I'm there, it'll get rid of it'll desensitize the fear, if you will, and I'll just get used to it. I've also been procrastinating on like what am I saying? On micro content. I haven't made anything since Eelsonic, and that was like a month ago plus. So anyways, I definitely have to create a Notion system like that works with this, because I just haven't done shit. So I need a system that I'll actually use within Notion that's like a funnel for my micro content, whether that's combined with a long form or it's on its own for micro content. I don't fucking care. I just need something ASAP. Okay, let's try it again and better, because I just fucking forgot to record the second half of this bad boy. I have to restart. Alright, thank God it was fast at the end. What were my biggest lessons? It can be a good idea to hide your follower account and your subscriber account. So I never considered this. I always thought it was an insecurity thing, but it's actually a psychological benefit in theory, because people are looking for social proof, and if you don't have social proof, it can be like, it can take away from them wanting to subscribe. And if you don't have a number, they can just be like, fuck it. Like I felt this as I was looking at someone this week. I was like subconsciously just like more inclined to subscribe to that person because I didn't know how many followers they had or subscribers they had on YouTube. So that was fucking interesting. Might apply that for myself. We'll see how that goes. No one starts out with a niche. I was watching Jade Dharma Wong's video on basically fuck your niche, and she was talking with someone on her Q&A show about how she was looking at this at one of these new YouTubers that just popped type of thing that has like 2 million in like a month, that type of bullshit. And they went back to the first videos and she had zero niche, and she was just fucking around making random videos left, right, and center. And Jade was just basically preaching that like, you do not need a niche to start, and you can just basically do whatever. And like Gary has been saying stuff like this, even about like, not about starting, just about like in general, like fuck your niche type of thing. Just make what makes you happy and go over the map. Like Gary has wine content, he has business content, he has flipping content, garage selling content, parenting content more recently. There's just all types of different content without a clear specific niche. Obviously his niche is like personal growth type of thing at the end of the day, but it's not specific. It is like what he wants to make, and that's very, very important. Anyways, so like as for me, I am so intrigued by the idea of making a bunch of random types of content, whether that's like Notion content or like dubstep content, of course energy work content, all types of different content. And it's okay to just make whatever content that makes you happy. You don't need to stay in these fucking niches, especially at the beginning. That was my biggest takeaway from this, which is just like at the start, just do whatever you want, fucking throw it all against the wall, and just people just place themselves in these fucking boxes. Just do what you want to do and create what you want to create, and the niche will find you in time. Notion is prime for someone like me to make content. This is obviously completely related to my last point. Notion as a community, I'm like in some groups and stuff like that, and I've noticed a lot of them are like older in nature and not necessarily technical. So someone like me that's younger and very technical in nature can be very, like I can bring a lot of value to this market. And there's a very clear like desire from myself and others of ways to use it, how to use Notion, how to better use it and maximize it more. Just use cases are such an important thing for Notion. And I just can absolutely see the potential here of what this could become. It's funny, I was just talking about niches and like fuck them, but this is a very niche thing, but it's just like a very passionate niche of people who are in these types of Notion communities. So anyways, I definitely can bring a lot of value there, and I was really glad I realized that this week. So we'll see how that goes. I'm super fucking down to make videos on my systems one by one and explain how I built them, why they work the way they work, and how you can use them too, and like the benefits that go along with that. That could be fucking interesting. That excites the hell out of me. Yeah, that'd be so fucking sick, man. Fuck. Create a global task list for each of your teams. So I've been messing around with a global task list and they've worked so fucking well. But what I realized as soon as I made my first one was you can't have just one if you're working with multiple teams. So like for Moxey Energetics, I have a team that is with my mom. I do not want her seeing my personal tasks, so I have to make multiple with content, my personal branding. I'm going to have people in the future that are on that, which means I can't have it within my personal. And I can't have obviously Moxey Energetics and content crossing it as well. So for each type of team you're working with, have a separate global task list. And then within those, you can have projects and tags for each type of to-do that make it really easy to sort, because if you have all of them, it is absolutely overwhelming. So you need to make sure you're simplifying, or else it just becomes fucking chaos. So use that and then create views ahead of time for each type of project, each type of task, or sorry, not each type of task. Well, technically each type of task, but just like, yeah, use a separate, I have a separate project list that like makes them all sorted, and I can go into that another time, but that is how I have it set up right now. And if you want me to make a full tutorial on that, let me fucking know, because I would gladly make one. But anyways, these are working incredible. Highly recommend. And simplification is absolutely key here. Yes. Global task lists do not interfere with lists. So yeah, I love my lists. We've got an episode list, for example. I used to think that was a clashing thing. It actually works with it. So what I mean by that is I used to think that if I had an episode list and I had a task list, that I couldn't like put, if I had it in a different area, it was just like breaking the system for me. And I wanted everything in one area. But then I realized, no, these are better to have. Like, not everything is supposed to be a task type of thing. Like, an episode list is supposed to be an episode list for a reason. And it can have certain properties that are just, it's just good by itself. And then the task list, what I can do with a task is I can at the project, or I can tag it as the project, and it works phenomenally well. And I don't need to necessarily have the exact episode on that fucking task list. It's fine. They can stay separate. It's a good thing. And I'm explaining this awfully, but it's important that not everything becomes a task. It's just sometimes better to have things as a fucking list instead of a to-do. Inbox can be used for things beyond just links. So with Web Clipper, it's ideal to have a place to just throw everything in. For me, that's called inbox, okay? I've saved all of my links there historically, but now I'm like, oh my god, Mind Dumps is becoming fucking hell right now with the way I've used it. Meaning I had to create a page or whatever, and it was just chaos for me. So what I instead did is I decided to start, or I learned that, you can add ideas and you can add to-dos and really just anything that you need to input in your inbox first. And it's not just for links, it can just be for anything that you need to quickly write down and then sort it later. Like that was just such an unlock for me, and I cannot recommend having an inbox enough because it just makes everything so much easier, because we're on the fucking go and we don't necessarily have the time to sort everything all the time. So just inputting and getting back to what we need to is crucial. All right, so this is super dirt level within Notion, but fuck it. Use the @ and then today or @ tomorrow, @ Monday, like whatever fucking thing. And if you do that, it ends up replacing the date for you in time. So instead of typing out the date every time, you can just put @ today or @ whatever, and it just acts as beyond text as well. It's really fucking cool. Saved me a lot of time because I've always been typing my fucking days for like mind dumps or whatever, and I just don't want to anymore. So it's super fucking useful for doing something like this. Keep your dashboard simple. Mine got quickly out of hand because I had so many incomplete systems. So what I instead did is I made this cool idea of incomplete systems, and I have it all set up. I feel like I've already talked about this in this episode. If I haven't, I apologize. I'm not going to go into it right now, but just keep your keep your dashboard with systems that are complete and ready to go, and then have an area where you put all of your incomplete systems, and then once they're ready to go and they're designed and they're ready for data, then bring them into the dashboard, because it can quickly become a clusterfuck, which is what happened to fucking me. And I'm glad I have this incomplete system now because it's making my dashboard so much more cleaner and so much more easier to use. Okay, so there was a super tiny anecdote at the end of 4Ds that Gary Vaynerchuk posted, and he said something along the lines of like, people who are willing to take losses and accept them and just own and take full accountability and responsibility are going to become beasts because the whole world is doing the complete opposite. I felt that was an awesome point, mostly because that is exactly what I do, and I'm fucking good at that. I'm fucking great at owning L's. I am fucking great at taking responsibility and knowing that I am at cause for every single thing, and that just made me feel really fucking good. And we'll see how that ages, and I think it'll age quite fucking well. Yeah, the world is just so sick of people trying to bullshit and blame and throw shade, and it's all garbage. It's all fucking garbage. If you want to focus and you want to listen to music, try classical music. I did this during my reflection this morning. I wanted some music in my ear, but I can't really listen to dubstep and reflect. It just hijacks the mind too much. I need to be more thoughtful in nature when I'm reflecting. So I threw on some beautiful classical music, and it was just like, it's so focusing, and you end up getting like wrapped up in the music, and it was beautiful. So consider trying that out. If you're looking for some music in the background, but you still need to pay attention to what you're doing. What challenges did I experience? Struggling to define all of these types of systems in a way where I want to combine them all, but I'm not sure if they should be combined. Things like my journal, my plans area, meeting notes area, mind dump area, reflection area, and I didn't really mean to say plans area, but so forget that. But what should I combine? What should I keep separate? That's been an ongoing challenge for me. I'm like, I don't want properties that are just empty for some and used for like a small portion of them. It's like, what the fuck do I do there? Not exactly sure. Not exactly also sure which gym I should use. I think I'm going to choose Good Life because it's exactly like 3 minutes away from my work, and that's so convenient for me for biking purposes, especially, is where I'm going with that. So I think I'm going to do that. And I'm guessing I'm just I might pay double, but I'm paying double for convenience. So yeah, I'm also going to look more into why people pay for Good Life over other stuff, but lots of interesting shit to do there. Oh my god, how long shows take. Ugh. It's such a long trek back to Kitchener and back. To Kitchener to Toronto and back. It's like, just ends up being so fucking long. I wish it was shorter because it's a lot of time invested. I love shows, but like, I can walk downstairs and pump weights and listen to dubstep and I just get just as much enjoyment. So I feel like I'm getting old as fuck right now. It's really fucking with me recently. Mostly because I feel like I'm wasting my prime with girls. Meaning like, I just feel like I'm quote unquote wasting my gifts. And you can read between the lines there if you'd like. But yeah, I've let fear win in terms of girls and it's frustrating. And I just want to grow in that aspect super fucking bad. And I am growing, thankfully. It's just not as fast as I would like to. Yeah, overall though, just time feels like it's moving so fucking fast. And I'm just really scared of losing my looks and throwing this period directly in the garbage where I am so good looking. And I'm just scared of that. Where did I grow the most? Using a public gym 1000%. Went with Drone and EJ and that was a lot of fun going with them. It always makes things easier when you're with people at the gym. So I loved that. But when they left, I also was like, I can do this. Like, I was fine when they were gone. Like, that made me feel really good, though. Being able to realize that it's not actually as scary as I've once made it out to be. I also feel like my confidence in the gym has grown because I've gotten some results in my basement that I will get. That I just feel more comfortable when I'm in the gym in public because I know some things. Notion, 1000%. I feel like I am slowly becoming a beast at Notion and system design and all these types of things. Like, I actually fantasize some days about becoming a Notion like teacher, course person, not course person necessarily, but just like someone who can train people on how to use Notion, like a coach, if you will. I mean, all of those things sound pretty fucking cringy as I vocalize them, but like, it's just something that is consuming me right now and I know I can help a lot of people with it. So I'm highly considering doing some content around that as well. Yeah, just like a lot of tips and tricks, the approach to it, and just teaching people like how to build good systems from it. Man, I'm just so fucking grateful how much I learned about system design in my coding days. It's everything. It's everything. And equally very grateful that I can continue using that muscle with something like Notion because it's just so set up in a perfect way to code. Girls. So I did a fear setting around hanging out with girls one-on-one because that just petrifies me. And I also did some energetic work on it as I talked about after. And just something just changed that day, man. That was on Friday. And it was just, something just shifted because I was like, the way I was being checked out by girls on that Friday was just different. Like, I haven't seen something like that yet for myself. And it felt fucking cool. And something definitely clicked. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I'm grateful for whatever did occur. I'll try to figure out what the fuck actually happened. Lack of giving a fuck about niches. Like, I just have zero interest in following a niche right now, especially because I'm at the start. But even if you are like deep into your specific niche or whatever that you are rocking and you have good traction, like, why not make something that makes you happy? For me, that like, why don't I make more dubstep content? Why don't I take the time to do Notion content? Like, I need to and I should. So anyways, it's just like, niches just don't fucking matter. Just make what makes you happy. At the end of the day, people will flock with it, and people respect people being real, or at least the right people do. Like, I don't fuck with Gary's garage sale type of shit or flipping stuff too much, but I still respect what the intent behind it is, and I just don't watch it. It's fine. What am I obsessed with right now? Notion system design, 1000%. I've just been obsessed with designing systems in literally every area of my life for Notion and just tracking things and making sure I am getting shit done and just like creating wicked foundations in systems to make sure that I am succeeding in every area long term. It's all consuming right now. I love it so much. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Today has been Reflection 62, and I hope that episode came out well for you. Hope you got some value. If you did get value, do me a favor, subscribe, join me on my journey. I'm about to post a ton of random shit, and it'll be interesting. So would love to have you along for that. If you got enough value, please like it, please comment, please share with a friend, and ideally all of those would be great. But whatever speaks to you the most. And what else can I say? I appreciate you watching and listening. As always, my name is Josh Moxey, and I will catch you later.